You're listening to the Play It Brave podcast. Join Darcy for a wild rummage around in her wit and wisdom. She's a photographer, an educator, and a marketing ninja. Each week, she's going to be teaching you all about creating a life full of mindset, money, and marketing miracles. Listen to real-world experiences and surefire strategies from expert guests, all to keep you focused on your path to success. Think less hand-holding or fist bumps. So stop playing safe. It's time to start playing it brave. Here's your host, Darcy Benincosa.
Today on the Play It Brave podcast, we have my special guest, Marta Locklear, and we are going to dive into one, how to make some passive income as a creative, especially as a photographer. Two, we're going to talk about her journey, my journey with film shooting and with digital. Three, we're going to talk about what it takes to be a badass business person and create something magical that the community wants. And Marta has done all of those and more. So we're going to dive in with some questions that I have for Marta. Marta and I have known each other for a long time. We've been members of a very private Facebook group that got cut off. So only 200 people could join. And somehow I was like 199. It's called Girls on Film. And it has been an amazing connection point for a lot of us film photographers to talk about how to run our businesses, get feedback on when to use film, when we should use digital, get feedback on how to help. I need help editing. Give me some pointers. So it's been an awesome community. And I started using one of Marta's amazing creations called Refined Presets. I don't know, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it should be close to about 3 years now. I think you jumped on. Yeah.
Yeah, I use that in all of my wedding edits to match my digital photos to my film photos, which if you're a hybrid shooter, you know you want to have a cohesive voice. And for those of us who love shooting film, we love a certain aesthetic, and Refined has really helped me get there. So Marta, we're going to dive into passive income, and we're also going to dive in a little bit to how shooting film versus digital is a big topic of conversation in the industry right now, because I would say, what do you think? 80% of people still are digital only? How many of us are left that still shoot film? I don't know the percentage.
I would say it might be higher than that, just because there's so many photographers in their company. I've been doing this for 14 years, so I've seen it grow over the 14 years. But I really wouldn't know that percentage. A lot of people jump on the film bandwagon and then jump back off. So it's a tough number to come up with. Yeah.
I've always been a believer that any photographer, if they really want to get into the medium, should at least explore shooting film. I don't think they have to explore it for their business, but I think on a personal level, if you call yourself a professional photographer, you should at least have some kind of understanding about film, because it is the foundation and has been until the last decade of photography in general. And it's just such a different way to connect with your own voice, to not just shoot a million pictures and see if you get one right. Can we just talk a second about loving film? Do you love it?
I do, hands down.
Tell me what you shoot. Tell me your favorite stock. Let's be
Contex girl, definitely the Contex. It's really the glass, Zeiss glass. I actually, on my Canon, I shoot it too. So I shoot manual focus, the Zeiss 1.4 on my Canon. So when I shoot digital, I still lean on Zeiss glass just because I think it's amazing. But yeah, I was a Contax 645 and Fuji. It was my go-to. The color palette just fits, it's just amazing. But film just in general is amazing. Even the dark and moody shooters, there's so much about it. The tactical part of shooting film, I have an art background, so I paint and draw. So just the feel of loading it and ripping the papers off and, kind of the slow down process of it was romantic to me. And I love that about film as well. But that I miss in shooting digital for sure.
Yeah. I love the winding sound when it finishes and then it winds, except for if I'm doing a ceremony. I always make sure that I do not take the last shot while a ceremony is going on, because that noise can be utterly distracting, ruin the audio.
Absolutely.
So I always make sure I have extra cameras around for that. But I also recently I took a trip to Japan and I got a disposable camera, just one of those cheap disposable ones, and thought, instead of just doing iPhone all the time, taking it out for every second, thinking I need a picture of everything, I'm going to take today and I'm going to do 24 shots. And that was a really fun way to be very disconnected from technology, but still sort of capture, my vacation, which
absolutely. I love that. I've done it with underwater, the little cheap ones you get at the, with my kids, we take them in the pool every summer and kind of do some underwater stuff just with those little throwaways. They love it. They love seeing the images. So those are fun too.
You have a history with, you've been in the industry for a long time. So have I. And we've had a lot of learning and growth experiences with how our images are presented to different companies. Weddings are a thing. And then you and I both have shot commercial, brand work, labels, things like that. What are some of the things that you've seen change as film has kind of lessened in the commercial world and digital has come out? Are there concerns that have come up? What has your journey looked like? I know I've definitely had some interesting experiences.
Definitely with commercial, it's tethering. It's harder to tether film. I'm not even sure if you can. I haven't done it personally.
I think you have to have like a special digital bag.
I don't even know if you can tether. I know there's digital backs. I just don't know if you can tether them. That's
I don't know
not something
either.
I have dabbled in ever. So tethering really, when you're on a shoot and they need to see the images right away, and you need to have that digital there and ready for them just to pop up on a screen. Teaching, and then of course, when you have the digital, they want to see how it's going to look edited or how it's going to look like their film. So having an automatic preset to drop on it helps, doing that. That's kind of where I come in. And then for me, it was stock photography. I shoot a lot of stock photography. It's one of my passive incomes. And they love my film work at Stocks United. They're very progressive and they were diehard about my work. But the buyers were having a hard time with the organic or rawness of film, with a little soft, grainy, things like that. When they're going into print, it became an issue. So there was a little bit of throwback on that. So we needed to try to figure out a way to get my digital to look more like my film body of work. And so that was another need for digital, is that they needed a little sharper, a little crisper, and now you can get film like that. But then I lose my depth of field, the softness, the air, the kind of look I needed. So I think there's just a lot of ways. And of course, weddings, receptions, when it's super dark, some people are, shoot receptions on just all black and white and they get by with it with film. But there's a lot
I think you have to be really clear to your client that that's what you're going to do. I like using each medium for what I perceive is the strength. So I'm pretty much fully digital during the evening. But I recently had a shoot that I did 3 years ago, epic shoot. One of the images has been viral all over Pinterest, all over Instagram. It's one of my highest liked images. And they came back and they're like, hey, we want to blow this up and use it in an advertisement. And they needed it really big. And of course, my scan that I had only went up to, I think, like a 20 by 24 if they would have printed it. They're like, we need it really big. And I do not have my negatives organized from 3 years ago. And I was like, there's just no way, because I didn't take any digital backup of that image, which I now try to do when I know an image is going to be super eye-catching. I try and make sure I have my digital camera there, but I lost out on big publication because with a negative, you have to take it in and get a larger scan of it. It can be blown up rather largely, but it takes a special process. So
absolutely.
I can imagine with commercial, I have to tether a lot too, because you have a lot of people on the team and they've spent a lot of money and they want to see if it works. And I haven't gotten that good at it, to be honest. I have to get better. Like I'll try and tether. And if we don't have good internet or like, depending on the camera, I just started learning Sony. So my tethering with Sony, it's a learning curve. You got to kind of learn how it looks. And then I get really nervous of everybody seeing how crooked I shoot. And
that's the beauty of film. It's like, it's pretty cut and dry,
Yeah.
so, and then you get into digital. I'm the same way. I just got lights and, microphones and all this stuff to do YouTube videos. And I'm like, what is all this? It's so much tech and just a huge learning curve. So I feel you there for sure.
Yeah. So you started making money with stock photography and a website called Stocksy. Does Stocksy still exist?
Absolutely.
It does.
United.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Cause I remember wanting to get on Stocksy, but it was really hard.
Yeah,
And
it
I would love
is.
to know your adventure with getting on there. And if you're still making money with stock photos and how that works.
Yeah. I had followed a photographer, Melanie DeFazio, I hope I'm saying her name right. And she had mentioned that she had some stuff on Stocksy. So I looked into it and I was like, oh, wow. I was like, you think stock, you think sterile and just boring and just cut and dry. And I got on their website and I was blown away. It was very progressive, very artistic. And I was like, this is amazing. I want to be a part of it, and put together a little portfolio, just dug through my hard drives and grabbed a bunch of stuff I'd shot personally and sent it to them. And it was different than what they had. They didn't have a lot of light and airy and that kind of look that I shoot myself.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And they're co-op. So that's why they're so limited on who they bring in. So it's a co-op, business out of Canada. It's amazing company. But that was in 2014. So I jumped on quite a few years, I guess 6 years now. And you have to upload and they accept or deny your upload. So even after you're in, you have to get accepted, all the images that you post. So, but yeah, I started doing stock photography then, did really, really well. I was in 4 figures pretty fast a month.
Nice. That's amazing.
And I think I have a portfolio. I think it's a little over about 3,100 images now. So I just keep adding over the years as I shoot. I did some shoots just for it. But then I've had gap years, as Refine grew, I didn't have time to shoot and post because you have to keyword and model releases, the whole thing. And even when I don't have time to do those new shoots or upload, I'm still making money off of it because it's evergreen. The portfolio is always there and always churning. I'm selling images I shot back in 2007 today.
That's awesome.
I'm using the body of work I've created and still making, some passive income on it. And I'm around 4 figures myself, but I do it very part-time. I know people that do it as a job and they're making 5 figures and more a month.
Yeah. My friend does it as a job and he makes about $90K a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It.
You can definitely
do it.
It's
a full-time thing.
Yeah. But you get out of it what you put in it. You have to put in the work.
It is a lot of work to get 90K, and he's very specialized. He does a lot of landscapes, a lot of things that, not as much people, because I think a lot of photographers are just doing like people, or something. And he does really, really eccentric landscapes, overhead shots, things like that.
Yeah.
What is your advice for people with stock photography? I've often referred this to people as a means of passive income, and passive income means you don't have to show up to make money. Basically, you're not exchanging your time for money. So now you have this body of work on Stocksy and you still make a monthly income from it without, even if you don't do anything, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your advice for people who want to do stock? Like, is it getting harder with the amount of photographers, or do you
I don't think
define
so.
your niche?
Yeah, I think finding a niche, especially with Stocksy United, the reason that they're hard to get into is they limit how many photographers they bring on in a certain niche. So if you look a lot like my work, most likely you might not get in, now, because they don't want to overflow it with the same people. So they're protecting their co-op owners or members, I should say. Yeah. So it is very smart. With that said, they are constantly accepting people, but there's other companies. There's Offset, there's Adobe Stock, which Adobe Stock actually works with Stocksy United now as well. So we're kind of connected, but Adobe Stock takes people all the time. There's Getty Images. So there's a lot of avenues. I think the best thing to do is to research each company, see if your work would fit in the company. If it's something that you think that they might like and it would fit in their portfolio, their curated portfolios. And then also look at what they're offering to pay. So that does vary, across the board. Stocksy, I think, is one of the higher ones. I think Offset's pretty high. Offset leans very lifestyle and not as much progressive and artistic that Stocksy does. So I think it's really just finding one that fits and applying to many. I can be a contributor to all of them. I just can't submit the same shoot to all of them. I have to pick what I'm submitting. So I'm actually a member of Offset. I've just never submitted with them because I just don't have time. But really, there's a lot of options out there.
There's so many. I have a friend who does strictly videography, and she, does a lot of cityscapes and various artistic things, because you think about it, those of us who are photographers, if we need to create content, we just go out, do the shoot, take the photos, take the video, make the video. And there are so many companies that don't have the time or resources. It's actually cheaper for them to go buy this, 30-second clip of the California sunrise and buy this clip of the yoga person and like make a promo for their wellness campaign or something. And that's what I think photographers, especially wedding photographers, they get so caught up in just weddings that they don't realize how much money is left on the table if they can kind of expand and do some other things. And that's what I've always done. I've always made at least $50K in sort of stock commercial type of work so that even if the weddings don't come in, I'm not freaking out about money.
Yeah, it helps with the off season too. It's like you've got an off season. If you are just weddings, you have that gap in the year usually, unless you're destination, then you kind of can shoot all year long. But you have that. And same thing with portraits, there's seasons to it that are heavier than others. So you can fill those gaps, or, life comes along, you need extra cash for things, or you want to take, some time off from maternity leave, or there's a lot of reasons you may need that diversified income. And stock is definitely one way to do that for sure.
So let's talk about other passive income. I have some ideas, you have some ideas. So let's go back and forth and just think of ways that if we were just starting out, or we needed extra money, or we wanted money where we weren't there, which you and I are getting closer to retirement. Can I even say that? All the young 20-year-olds are like, how old are they? They look really good. We don't look our ages, that's for sure.
I hope not.
But I don't want to be shooting weddings and very much longer. Like I'm in my 40s.
Be able to handle it.
I'm kind of getting done. So where does that leave me? And, my friend John Canlis always says, as hard as you work to get in, you have to work just as hard to get out. So let's talk a little bit about passive income. So tell me the next idea. So we have stock photography. Okay. What's another idea?
Yeah. I actually do 5 myself. So I just on my list, here, selling prints, this is one I don't do. I have done it in the past, but just selling prints on your website, put up a little site now with sites like, just Shopify and Wix, and you can throw up a website pretty fast these days. That's e-commerce, and you can sell your prints. I mean, we have hard drives of photos we've taken traveling, whatever, and you can just sell prints to people online. You can do it just digitally if you want to keep it super easy. Sell the digital file and let them download, or you can, have them printed and sell prints, to people to hang up in their homes, home decor. I mean, I sell it through Stocksy. Home decor interior people are buying those files for home decor. I mean, I have people hit me up all the time. Hey, we love this image. We're doing an interior install. We would love to print it, buy it, and print it for an install. And so, I mean, we have all these things just sitting there collecting dust on our hard drives. Why not capitalize on them? So selling.
I know, it's so true. I have not done it that much, but the one thing I did do is with my wedding galleries, and this is kind of over time, I started offering digital download bundles to the not to the couple, but to any guest that was there. And I made them pretty affordable. I think I did and maybe I shouldn't even say this. Maybe people will think I'm lowering I never know. Pricing is always such
additional income. You've made your money on the wedding. So
exactly. So I think I give 5 digital downloads for $129.
That's not bad.
And they can get it 8x10 digital download. And it's really and you just let them know, hey, the nice thing to do, not the nice thing, the right thing to do for photographers is to pay them for their images. Here's how you can get them. You can use them on Facebook. You can use them wherever. You just need to pay for the digital download. And obviously you can't resell them, but yeah.
Yeah. And usually they're just doing, reception images or portraits or a good image that they ended up in. So it's not like you're selling art, you're selling someone's memory, and it's additional income on top of you've already been paid for your wedding. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's been a way to just get that extra money. And then I also offer different levels of prints. So I have like cheaper prints and then fine art prints where I can charge a little bit more and use different kinds of paper. When you do the selling your prints, have you ever done the printing service yourself, or do you?
No, no, I usually, when I did have them, I had, I outsourced that, obviously. I just don't have time for too many tangibles in my life. I'm too busy. But I think that there's people that do it, definitely. I know Katie Mary, Melissa Scholert, Justine Milton. There's a lot of great photographers that have print shops connected to their websites. And, they either outsource the printing, a process or, and then have it shipped directly from there. I think some people do that as well, or some people print in-house and then ship them out. But another way to go, and it's something that I recently mentioned, is I'm with 2 websites that sell curated like photography or art. And so they've brought me on as a curated artist. And so they're selling my work on their websites. So I submit work to them and they sell it there. So if you don't want to bother with building a website and you don't want to bother with printing or anything like that, there's companies out there that bring on photographers and artists and they sell your work themselves through it. And then you get a commission from that. So that takes a little bit of, that's easy. You just submit the work and they do the work for you.
Oh, I love that. And that goes into another one that you talk about a lot is like affiliates. So explain how to make money as an affiliate. I mean, I can explain how I do it too.
It's a broad subject. Definitely, photography related gear, if you've got a following and people want to know what you're using. I do it when I'm on YouTube and I'm learning what microphones they're using. I go on and they have a list of their favorite gear and I'm like, your stuff sounds good. I'm going to buy whatever microphone you have. They use an affiliate link, say with Amazon or the actual gear company, and they get a kickback on that sale if you purchase through their link. So that's one way.
I'm a big believer in this. And I think a lot of people leave stuff on the table. So I was in a mastermind last year, and one of the main ways businesses can make money is simply affiliate ships. Like there was one girl making 7 figures just because she was so good at having an audience. She was so engaged on Instagram. She had such a good personality. She was putting out amazing content, but she didn't really have anything to sell. And so she vetted certain things that she felt her audience would really love and decided to start selling those and taking a cut. And it's a win-win. I know for me, I have negotiated many affiliate ships as I've gained more followers on Instagram. And I really make sure I've never been the person who's like, I'm going to sell you this juice box or whatever. Like I'm just not that person. But if I find something I really like and I'm using it and everybody's constantly asking me what I'm using because they see it's working, I have gone and asked like certain companies, hey, I'm referring a lot of people to you. What kind of agreement can we make? Can I get a discount? Can I do this? And some have worked with me and some haven't. And the ones who haven't, and then someone else comes in. I just recently had this. One company was like, oh, we don't really do anything like that. And I was referring them lots of people every month because people were asking me how I was doing this. How was it happening? So I was like, okay. And then they're like basically competitor came to me and was like, this is what we'd love to offer you. This is what we would love to do. This is, you don't have to like be salesy, but we want you to try it out and just see if you like it. And so I thought, I will do that. I'm going to see if I like it. And I did. I loved it. And they were so easy to work with. I do it even with people who I refer editing service or website services. I'm like, what is the affiliate ship if I keep referring you people? Like I think it's just a smart business move. I don't think it's I don't do it for obviously everything. It's not like I'm sitting here.
Yeah, what fits your branding, what fits your aesthetic and what you like and stuff, for sure.
Yeah, I think if it's
Yeah.
working for you, then it's a win-win to have them be one of your ambassadors or affiliates. And
It's
I
more
love being an
organic that way
affiliate.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of your affiliates because I seriously use
Refine Co has
Refine
affiliates.
all the time, and you have been gracious enough to give my audience a discount.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been such a good partnership, and I'm literally using your presets all the time.
Yeah, so why not? It's like if you're already using it and people are as a photographer of your caliber, people are going to want to know, what are you using? So if you're suggesting it out, you're gaining me traffic as a company, but then I'm rewarding you for sharing the love, essentially. So it's a win-win for both sides.
And it's actually one of the primary business models of how companies make money. I just think in the creative industry, we don't realize that. But it's one of the major ways that people make money. Is finding those really good partnerships.
And you'd be surprised at how many companies, I think that's the thing, that actually have affiliates. People don't, because it's not publicly talked about. You can literally go on their website, usually scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can find a little blurb, affiliates, and click there. And there's affiliations. The camera strap I use, they have an affiliate program. Websites, software, they have affiliates. My email, I use Flowdesk, and they have an affiliate program. So it's vast. It's a great marketing tool for the company. And then it's a great way for the users, the people that are sharing the news of those companies, to actually make some passive income.
Yeah. Yeah. I get turned off by it sometimes if I just see like a celebrity selling orange juice or something. I'm like, really drink this orange juice every day?
Instagram influencers are built on affiliate marketing. That's all it is affiliate marketing.
But like, I can tell when it's genuine. We all have that internal meter, and I'll see some like sponsors. I'm like, they're just doing this for the money. And then I'll see some, I'm like, this is actually a real lifesaver for them, so
absolutely.
Listen to your internal meter. We definitely are in an influencer world. I don't know how long this will continue, but it's interesting. Okay. Other ways to make passive income as a creative.
Editing. If you're a photographer, you do it already, and some of you are better than others, but if you're good at it and it doesn't make you want to pull your hair out, edit for people. In Refine Co's Facebook group alone, we probably have someone go in there and ask once a week, if not more, anybody here do editing? I need an editor. I want to outsource my work. Once you get to a certain level, sometimes you don't have time to edit. So you can hire people to edit for you. So if you're one of those people that has a little extra time, you don't have 3 kids running around, and you can sit down and edit someone else's weddings for them or their portraits. I edit. I mean, that's how KT Mary and I got connected as far as, with Refine Co, is I started editing for her. Mm-hmm. And I just had a skill and she was looking for it. And I started editing for her. That ended up expanding our relationship over the last 2 years. But editing, I mean, and there's great services out there. That I see. Katie Rivera, she actually teaches a course on building a company on photo editing. So there's resources out there to how do you get started? What do you charge? So if you're wanting to get into it, you can actually look into that. But editing for other photographers is a great way. I mean, it's good extra income for sure.
Yeah, I would add to that doing Pinterest services and doing blogging services as well as editing services. I think that a lot of artists feel like somehow they've failed if they have to do work for other photographers. I think they think, oh, I want to be the star though. I want to be this. And I just think if you're struggling to make money and you don't want to go work a 9 to 5, editing for other photographers who maybe aren't, don't have, have the kids or have the less time, blogging services and Pinterest services are all, and SEO services. Website.
I'm hiring all that out right now. So
all of that.
I'm hiring.
Like if you're really a struggling artist right now, learn the skill set needed in your industry so you don't have to go become a waitress. Not that waitressing is bad at all, but your heart lives in this. These are the skills, and they're not only going to serve you, but you're going to be able to make a ton more money and make sure you have what you need by learning these skills. And they're not as hard
flexible.
It's
The
so
time is flexible. That's the thing. It's like, as a photographer, our schedules are kind of a little all over the place. We don't work 9 to 5s. And if you need extra income, getting a 9 to 5 or a job that restricts you time wise, then, you're restricted time wise to do photography. So editing, like you said, SEO, Pinterest services, blogging services, all of that you can do on your own time. You can do it around your photography business. So it's
and you
just
can
way
do
more
yoga
flexible.
pants without a bra while listening to an audiobook.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Binge
That's
those
the kind of
Netflix
work I
shows.
want. I'm in yoga pants right now. It's professional on top, comfy on the
Same. I've
bottom.
got the holiest jeans on right now. They're super loose and comfy. So
What else is being an artist if we can't just be in comfortable pants all the time,
yeah.
or no
How do
pants?
how do you binge
Pants.
5 seasons in a row? You can sit there and just
It's so
edit
true.
and binge Netflix.
I had so much editing to do the last few weeks. I finished all 4 seasons of The Good Place. I didn't really look at it, but I heard
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. My
I was
husband,
like
I said,
that was really good. I hadn't
and I work
ever
from
taken.
home, and we work from home, and we both were like, what are you watching? Oh, we can't watch that. It's got subtitles because we can't work and watch it while it has subtitles because we can't read it. So it's usually just need to be able to glance at it every once in a while. So
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Well, I just love talking about making money. I love for creatives to know that there are so many options. I think affiliateships, I think partnering up. I have an editor. She lives here in Salt Lake City. She's amazing. And what she's so good at, because she edits for a few different photographers, is knowing each of our craft, knowing each of our looks, knowing how we want everything to look. And I'll tell you, she is pure gold. When I can just hand those images off to her and say, match them to this, then it's just heaven. It makes my life so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And saves you time to run your company.
So talk to us about running your company, Refined. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I do think another way for passive income is to bring something to the industry that is desperately needed, to find the holes, to find the problems, and to come up with solutions. And that's what it seems like you did for your own business. And then it was able to spread to other people who were experiencing the same problem as you.
Yeah. It's Refine Co. And that's a preset company. And I basically started it because of my stock photography. At that time when they were struggling with my film images, just being a little too organic and a little too soft or too grainy, I needed to shoot more digital, and I wasn't getting a look that matched my film. So I just started developing a preset for myself, just to I went through my body of work of film and was just trying to create a preset that worked for that. And that's how Refined was born. It's grown so fast. It really was just a high side hustle. It was another way to bring in passive income. When I first started, I was like, oh, this works really good. I'll put it out there to the people that follow me. And it did well. And then Caroline Tran came on, and she was in desperate need of a preset that worked with her film. And she's like, nothing is working out there. Can you develop something for me? Yeah. And I was like, absolutely. I'm pretty strong at editing. I have a fine art background, so my eye for color is very strong. So I developed it for her, made her a custom set. And she was like, I love these. I think that everybody needs to have these. And so we decided to release them.
That's amazing.
And Refine just blew up that year. I swimming in it because I didn't prepare for it. So as a company that needs to hire people, that's this girl. So just so much work, just to keep up with it. Cause it's, went from just a little side hustle to a full blown business. And it's been amazing. Hands down, the best thing I did, I had to put my camera down to do it though. I decided to make a shift, and it was a huge pivot. It wasn't easy. And it took a year to do it, because I love being a photographer, and I'm actually kind of itching really bad for it right now. Cause it's been a little too long, but it's been a beautiful pivot, and then since then I've brought on other photographers that have been interested in working with me, and I'm developing other presets. We're breaking out into Capture One and LUTs for video, a little bit of everything. So I've sunk my teeth into it, and I love it. I love everything about Refine Co. And then the education, because I did used to teach workshops and teach photographers how to do things. And now we're doing YouTube videos and bringing education to the table to Refine Co. as well. So it's just a concept, how to edit, shooting tips on getting the best edits, shooting sets for matching film, because not everybody shoots their digital the same way they shoot their film. Exactly. Which is surprising to me, but it's important. You're like, why doesn't this look like my film? You didn't shoot it the same way. So teaching that and kind of bringing that to the table. So just really expanding. Like I said, big life pivot, but I love it. I love everything about Refine Co. And I can't wait to just keep working on it. So, but I'm hiring. So if anybody,
all right, we'll put that on the show notes. She's hiring. If you guys need to make more of a statement in the industry, you can start working with companies who have found beautiful niches. I think it's always good to be aware of where the areas of growth are, what problems arise, how to solve those problems. At the end of the day, we're all creative. And yes, we want to take beautiful photos, but sometimes the money and I guess the money can come into your life in a lot of different avenues within the same realm.
And why not? You spoke about retirement. It's say your passive income goes straight into your retirement account. If your photography is supporting you and supporting your life, but you're like, I haven't saved for retirement, and why not have this passive income? It could go straight into your retirement account. It's like, there's a lot of things you can do with the additional income and, create more security and stability in your business, so you're not wavering throughout the seasons, on, I don't have enough sessions, or next year doesn't look very good. You've got other income coming in. So there's a lot of uses for it, for sure.
Yeah, we have to be smarter because our parents probably still don't think we have real jobs. That's what mine think. And, there are a lot of ups and downs. There are a lot of different seasons. And knowing and having multiple skills, learning how to invest your money, which I am a huge advocate of. And I know all you young people out there think, I'll do it one day. I'll do it one day. But trust me, just research compound interest and start doing it today. Even if it's a couple thousand a year, max out $5,000 a year at least. I think everybody needs to be at least investing $5,000 a year. So I love smart women. I love refined presets. I adore your work. I'm so grateful that you took the time to share your genius, by first creating presets, understanding your areas of genius of color and matching and just really presentation. I feel like you have such a good eye for that. And you've really served so many of us in the industry because you shared your gifts and talents and because you really saw a lack in the industry and decided that you could step forward and be the one to offer a solution, which is amazing.
I love it. I really love everything about it.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. We'll put a link to Refined. We're going to put a link to your hiring. Links to whatever we talked about in the show notes today. And thank you so much for being a guest on the Play It Brave.
Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
You've been listening to the Play It Brave podcast. Love what you heard? Wonderful. You can shout about it in the reviews. I bet you know someone who needs a shot of self-belief. Then don't keep us a secret. If you've missed something crucial, we've got show notes for this and all past episodes over at darcybenincosa.com/Play It Brave. Thanks for tuning in, but don't forget, the world teaches you to play it safe. Stand up, stand out, and start playing it brave.